Check out pentheblogofficial. Like, share, follow, and subscribe. Today we are going to look at an inspiring story about an eagle that will teach us how to find happiness in any situation. Once upon a time, there was a huge storm in the mountains. Below him, the clouds were parting and the sun was shining through. But if we could only learn to do that, we would be able to find solutions much more easily. They were happy until one day a hunter came along and shot their mother. The three little birds were very sad, but they knew that they had to be strong for each other, so they made a plan. The first bird would fly as far away as possible so that if the hunter came looking for him, he wouldn't find him. The second bird would hide in the tree until the hunter had gone away, and the third bird would pretend to be dead. The first bird flew away. But soon he was tired and hungry, and he wished he had stayed with his brothers. The second bird hid in the tree, but he was scared that the hunter would find him. The third bird pretended to be dead, but he couldn't stop thinking about how much he wanted to live. And so the three little birds gave up their plan and decided to stick together. And that's when they realized that they were stronger together than they would ever be apart. We would also be able to find happiness in every situation, just like the eagle did. Keep trying, and you will succeed. If you want to hear more stories like this one, please subscribe to our channel. So the next time you face a problem, don't get overwhelmed by it. Don't let it drag you down. Instead, take some time to rise above it and get a new perspective. You may be surprised at what you find. As he circled higher and higher, the eagle realized that the storm was just a small part of the vast sky. He also realized that there were many other storms raging in different parts of the sky, but none of them could touch him because he was soaring high above them. The eagle learned that day that when you rise above the circumstances of life, everything looks different. You see, my friends, when the eagle spread its wings and started to soar, everything changed. Its perspective changed. Before that, it had been focused on the storm and all its fury. But once it started to rise, it saw that the storm was not as big as it had thought. It also realized that there were many other storms in life, but none of them could touch it because it had risen above them. My friends, this is the law of life. When you focus on your problems, they seem huge, but when you rise above them, you see that they are not as big as you thought. In fact, every problem has two perspectives. One is from down below, where everything seems dark and scary. The other is from above, where everything seems much smaller and more manageable. So whenever you face a problem in life, remember to rise above it. Get a new perspective. You can do this by talking to someone you admire or by spending time in nature. When you come back down to earth, you will see that your problems are not as big as you thought. You will also see that there are many ways to solve them. And then you can choose the best way for you. The wind was so strong it could knock down a grown man, and the rain was lashing down like whips. Suddenly, a small bird flew into the path of the storm. The bird was soaked to the bone within seconds. The wind tried to push him off course, but he struggled to stay upright. He was an eagle, but this was no ordinary eagle. This was an eagle that had lost its eyesight. The storm threatened to tear his wings off. Every second that passed, his hope of survival diminished. But then suddenly, something incredible happened. The eagle spread its wings and soared above the storm. It rose higher and higher until it was out of the reach of the wind and the rain. And there in the clear sky, the eagle circled freely. It was no longer afraid of the storm below because it had risen above it. Once the eagle had risen above the storm, it saw something incredible. We often get so caught up in our problems that we forget to look at them from a different angle. Once upon a time, there were three little birds who lived in a tree. So remember, My friends, no matter what problems you face in life, don't give up.